WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Tommy Lopez. We start with the dispute about Medicaid that's having an impact in our area. A contract dispute between the Children's Hospital of Alabama and Mississippi Medicaid. It's having a major impact on some families in our area. Our Quentin Smith, he talked with the family who's considering a serious move.
Meet 9-year-old Robbie Elam.
He's my happy child.
He's one of the nearly 125 patients possibly affected now that the Children's Hospital of Alabama is no longer accepting Mississippi Medicaid patients. On average, Robbie goes to the Children's in Birmingham 2 to 3 times a year to have his G tube replaced.
I don't know what will happen if his tube all of a sudden goes to leaking or gets bad or something. I don't know what I'll do. I really don't. If he can't eat, we got problems.
Bill Elam, Robbie's father, believes United Healthcare, a managed care program under Medicaid, is the reason for the problem.
I'm hearing that United doesn't want to work with the hospital, and so the hospital, therefore, they have a lot of patients comes there from Mississippi, and they can't keep performing everything for free. I mean, that's basically what's happening.
Elam says this news still has him at a loss for words. He's tried calling United for answers, but got no results.
They told me that they was that University Children's of Alabama wasn't accepting Mississippi Medicaid, and the doctors weren't in the network, and that was basically all they said.
The single father is still searching and trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He's visited other hospitals in Jackson and Memphis, but Children's of Alabama is the only one he feels comfortable enough taking his son to for his treatments.
I'm sure Jackson can do it if I'd let him put him to sleep every time, but I'm just not comfortable. Because I've asked him before too, what are you waiting on him not to wake up? Because it's difficult when you get put to sleep a lot.
Elam says he's tired of waiting. He even wrote the governor a letter asking for help. His son, Robbie, will need to go to the doctor in the next few months. And this determined father says he's willing to move across the state line to get his son whatever treatment is needed.
Why should I have to put a for sale sign in my yard, sell my home, just to get quality health care for my child? And that's my whole thing. Why should I have to move just to get better health care?
Quentin, thank you for that story. The Children's Hospital of Alabama did not immediately return our call for comment today about that decision. Let's go now to our weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us. Keith, cold tonight, but not for much longer.
Yeah, it is cold tonight. We actually have some high clouds drifting on in. They give us a pretty nice sunset. That was the view a few hours ago at GTR Airport. Let's talk about these temperatures right now. 33 in Tupelo, 32 in Columbus and Starkville, 31 in Grenada, 30 in Oxford. So we are cooling things down right now. Our forecast lows, much like this morning, last night this morning, mid to upper 20s around here, so a chilly one. Here's your planning for tomorrow. First, let's talk about Tupelo. 26 or so at 7 o'clock. A lot of high clouds during the day, but we're back to 44 by noon. Low 50s, a little bit warmer tomorrow afternoon. That warmer 70 in just a few minutes, Tommy.
Keith, thank you. The investigation continues tonight to find out what happened to 2 people found dead in Clay County Tuesday. We found out today who investigators found on the side of a rural road. The 2 victims here are both 23 years old, one man and one woman, Kentario Boyd and Kenya Campbell. They both had multiple gunshot wounds. One was inside a car, the other was partially outside that car when they were found. Their bodies are going to Pearl for an autopsy. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott says this afternoon that they're questioning people in this case. You're seeing the crime scene here. This was in western Clay County on Dixie Road. Investigators recovered shell casings there. Anyone with information can contact the Clay County Sheriff's Department. Starkville police are investigating a weekend assault in Brooksville Gardens. The incident happened about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Family members tell us the victim knew her attacker. She was flown to a Jackson hospital. She's being treated there, according to family members. No arrests have been made in that case, and if you have any information, you're asked to call Starkville Police or Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. People in one community say it's time to come together after someone carved the letters KKK on a church sign. There's a fundraising effort now for Victory Center in Starkville. Members were upset after seeing the vandalism and the Ku Klux Klan reference. Bishop Michael Boyd says once we aired the story here on WCBI, the support started pouring in. There's a GoFundMe page online to raise money to help replace the sign. It got nearly $400 in the first 24 hours.
If people don't stand up in difficult hours, then other folk will be allowed to run rampant. So I'm very impressed at how the community stood up and they reject this type of behavior.
Boyd is planning to meet with the reconciliation group at his church there this Sunday to show unity. Starkville police are still investigating that incident.
Already down to 30 in Oxford right now, likely mid to low 20s for you tonight, but we are rebounding nicely for the end of the week. I'll show you that after the break.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Here's our Columbus planner. We start out at 27 degrees in the morning, some high clouds moving on in. 45 by noon, likely low 50s in the afternoon, a few degrees warmer than what we had today. Check this out. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus and in Tupelo. Absolutely gorgeous out there today. And those high clouds coming on in. But you know what? It was a pretty nice evening. A little bit of color there showing on up. This is Enid Lake, also in Louisville. Some color out there with the clouds coming on into play here tonight. You can see those clouds right there streaming on in from the northwest, but not really stopping the free fall right now. Temperatures, at least the forecast right now, into the mid to upper 20s around our region tonight. Very nice today. Earlier today, though, I was out at Happy Start Learning Academy in Macon. Look at all the kids. We were talking weather on this chilly day. A lot of those kids off for spring break, and boy, what a cold spring break it has been around here. Now, it has been warm, though, overall this year. By right now, this is where the average leaf development should be, but this year it's actually been farther north because it's been so warm, so you factor that in with this late season cold snap that has produced a lot of snow. The blizzard this week up there in New England and very cold temperatures across the eastern part of the country. Things are just not optimal for growing conditions right now because of this late season freeze, but this is all going to be lifting back to the northeast as we go throughout the course of the next few days, and this will be a distant memory once we get into next week, it looks like, with this warm-up, maybe flirting with 80 on Monday. Hard to believe. Now, our temperatures tomorrow, likely low 50s. Some of you could do the mid 50s, but we'll have a mix of sun and clouds in our region. Not quite as bright as what we had today, but it should be a little bit warmer with this southeast breeze at about 3 to 7 miles per hour. You can see some of these clouds drifting on through tonight and for tomorrow. As we get into your Friday, still some low clouds, perhaps a passing shower, especially in Tennessee, but we will really warm things up as we get into your Friday, St. Patrick's Day. We go from the mid to upper 20s tonight to 69 Friday. How about that turnaround? Some showers Friday night and Saturday. 60s for the weekend, 77 on Monday. So this is a 50 degree swing from tonight to Monday afternoon in just the next 5 days.
Winter this week into summer next week.
Yeah, and remember last week we had those hailstorms.
Yeah.
Now we've had winter, and then we're going back to spring.
Kind of unbelievable when you see it.
Up and down we go.
On that, the actual numbers, when you see it on that 7-day, it is actually hard to believe.
March is that transition month.
Yeah, very much. All right, Keith, thank you. We're going to continue our preview of the Mississippi State women's basketball team tonight, their tourney plans, and we're going to get some bracket tips. That's coming up tonight. Stay with us.
WCBI First Alert Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point.
To our Health Talk with Baptist segment. Tonight, Baptist is talking about healthy eating.
Hi, I'm Nikki Chittenden, registered dietitian at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Discover new and exciting tastes while trimming fat and sodium from your cooking. For National Nutrition Month, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics encourages everyone to experiment with new combinations of herbs and spices as you savor the flavor of eating right. Have you ever wondered what the difference is between herbs and spices? Herbs, like basils and oregano, grow in moderate climates and are the fragrant leaves of plants. Spices, like cumin and paprika, grow in tropical areas and come from the bark, buds, fruit, roots, seeds, and stems of plants and trees. Innovative use of herbs and spices offers a real flavor advantage, especially if your goal is to cook with less fat and sodium. Keep a basic assortment of herbs and spices on hand for all types of cooking. Oregano, garlic powder, paprika, cinnamon, nutmeg, chili powder, Italian herb seasoning blend, thyme, and rosemary make an excellent collection. Remember to store dried herbs and spices in airtight containers in a cool, dark cupboard or pantry. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss mindful eating and the social side of food.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Coming up, we have more on Mississippi State and their run beginning in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament on Friday. That's next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
We will get our first look at Mississippi State since that SEC Women's Basketball Championship game coming up tomorrow. Practice, press conferences leading up to that Friday game against Troy. That game will be a 1:30 p.m. tip time. You can catch the game on ESPN2 around our viewing area. But the Bulldogs, they're just happy to be at home playing once again, and they believed it all stems from the early part of the season. That's the reason why they are playing at home at this part of the season.
We were on the road so much in pre-conference. Only had 3 non-conference games at home. I think the committee rewarded us for that. And so that gets you ready for our conference where we go 13-3, another school record. And so I think all of it combined just gets you ready for this time of year.
It is a reward just because playing at home is just amazing. We have the best fans in the country, and you know they always help us, give us that extra energy that we need, and we love playing in front of our fans.
And a big day today for Vic Schaefer, the Mississippi State head coach, one of 4 finalists for the Naismith Coach of the Year, given to the top women's college basketball coach in Division I. It's Schaefer's first selection as a finalist. He was a semifinalist the last 2 years. The Minister of Defense has guided the Bulldogs to their best season in program history this year, notching a school record in wins overall, 29, and in SEC wins, 13. You can do your part to help Schaefer win Coach of the Year by voting online. That link is online on our release pertaining to Schaefer being a National Coach of the Year finalist. You can find that on WCBI.com. To the Ole Miss men, the Rebels learned tonight that they will continue their Rebel Road show in the National Invitational Tournament as Syracuse won their first-round game over UNC Greensboro. Ole Miss will face the Orange at the Carrier Dome on Saturday, 10 a.m. here in our viewing area in the round of 16 in the NIT. Fun fact, the last time Andy Kennedy was in the Carrier Dome coaching, he was the head coach at Cincinnati in 2006. The Bearcats defeated the Orange in that game. Well, hopefully by now you have filled out your bracket as the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament's first-round action officially tips off coming up tomorrow. You can catch the games right here on WCBI and TBS TNT and True TV. But here's 2 more bracket tips to get you out before you are ready to fill it all out and name your national champ. We're going to talk about some upsets here. You want to pick a 12 seed to win, plus a 13, 14, and a 15 seed. That vaunted 5-12 matchup, that's accounted for 27% of the double-digit upsets in the NCAA tournament. Also, a 13, 14, or 15 seed, they have won at least 1 game in 9 of the last 10 years. And you may not want to pick a big-time upset like that, but go with it. And a 14 seed, if you want to lean towards that, they've won a game in the NCAA tournament the last 4 years. And tip number 4, have a 2 seed miss out on the Sweet 16. 16 of the last 17 years, a 2 seed has not made it to the Sweet 16. They've been bounced in either round of the 64, round of 32, and 11 of those 17 years, 2 seeds have failed to make the Sweet 16. So if you're feeling anxious about those 2 seeds moving on? Maybe Kentucky, Arizona, Duke. What about Louisville, maybe facing Michigan or Oklahoma State? Don't be afraid to pull the trigger on that big upset. Well, if basketball's not your thing, baseball is really kicking into high gears. The SEC season officially begins this weekend for all 14 schools in the Southeastern Conference. Mississippi State will be on the road in Fayetteville taking on Arkansas. 3-game set. Saturday's game will be on TV. For Ole Miss, they will have Vanderbilt coming to Oxford. Sunday's game will be on TV. That Ole Miss-Vanderbilt series starts Friday, 7 p.m. Sunday's game will be on 3 p.m. on the SEC Network. Hey, speaking of baseball, Tupelo high on the coast during spring break. Then Blankets play Pascagoula today. And the lost art of the bunt. How about this from Ray Sandroni? Push bunt, beautifully placed. And then not just one good bunt. How about another, this time from Josh Smith, putting it down the left field line. That's fair, and that's on base. And then after that, here comes Tupelo mashing. That's LeBryant Sedell with the rip. Outscored Dylan Carey. Then a little bit later, Peter Gray shows he's not just a great football player, he can also rip it in baseball. Down the right field line, that would score Smith and Sedell. Tupelo would fall, though, in the game 9-8 as they finish up their spring break on the coast. That's it for sports. Keith will have a last look at your eventually warming forecast when we come back.
Here's that 7-day forecast. We're promising warm weather. It's coming after tonight. Tomorrow still chilly, but we're up to the upper 60s on Friday. And then some showers Friday night, Saturday morning. Don't write off the weekend here with the rain chance on Saturday. I think Saturday afternoon, Sunday, very nice. Much warmer on Monday when spring officially arrives.
And much, much warmer. I mean, we're talking about upper 70s come Monday.
It's going to feel oh so nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, Keith, thank you. And thanks for joining us. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is coming up next.